Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Yasmin binti Muhammad Nayan. I'm from BA 111-2A. Today I want to present about my group assignment Eco 162 in chapter 6. The title is Theory of Production and Cost. This topic is about application of production. Okay, let's proceed with the question 1. Using the production function, compute the figure for marginal product using the definition of production. Draw a graph of the marginal product curve using the number you compute. As you can see on the table that are provided, you can see the number that are provided to you. So to get the answer for the question of marginal product, you must use the formula which is marginal cost equal to change in cost divide to change in quantity. For example, you can take for the first column 3 minus 1 divide with 2 minus 1 and you get 0.5 for the first column. For the next column, you can use the same formula to get the rest of answer. Next for the graph, as you can see on the slide that I have shown on the video, the graph show that if the total production increase at the decrease rate, the marginal production will fall.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Intan Nur Hafiza binti Abdul Rahim. My metric number is 2020-815-292. For questions 2 states that compute the variable cost, also known as TVC, for Q0 through Q5, where Q refer to output. There are statement given, which is, suppose the firm can hire workers at a wage rate 10 ringgit per hour to work in its factory, which has a rental cost of 100 ringgit.
So, to calculate the variable cost, we have to know what is the variable cost. It refers to the cost of input that changes with output. It means that TVC has a direct relationship with output.
In this statement, the variable cost is wages to labor, where at a wage rate 10 ringgit per hour, and the answers like this. Based on the table, the labor is start from 0 until 5 because the questions want Q equal to 0 through Q equal to 5. The first column for the TVC also 0 because when Q equal to 0, TVC also will become 0. TVC is compute start from when labor is 1. When output is 1, the TVC become 10, which is the wage rate 10 ringgit per hour. When output is 2, TVC is 20. When output is 3, TVC is 30. When output is 4, TVC is 40. And when output is 5, TVC is 50. We can conclude that when output increases, TVC also will increase.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nadia Nafisa binti Ashadi and I will explain about the question 3 and question 4. Next question is compute the fixed cost for Q equal to 0 through Q equal to 5. Total fixed cost refers to cost when fixed inputs. Total cost also has no relationship with output and remains constant even though output changes. For this question, the total fixed cost is 100 ringgit, which refers to rental cost. After that, the question asks us to compute the total cost for Q equal to 0 through Q equal to 5. Total cost is the sum of total fixed cost and total variable cost. Total cost and output is a direct relationship, which is when output decreases, total cost will decreases, and when the output is increases, the cost also will increases. The total cost will not start from 0 as total fixed cost is incurred. Total cost when the labor is 0 is Rm 100 ringgit. When there are 1 labor, the total cost is 110 ringgit, while when there are 5 labor, the total cost is 150 ringgit.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Syafiqah binti Muhammad Nasir. I will answer question number 5. The question is, compute the marginal cost for Q equals 0 through Q equals 5. Draw the marginal cost curve and compare marginal product curve above. Explain what you see. Firstly, marginal cost is the change in the total cost that results from producing another unit of output. Marginal cost can be defined as additional cost incurred by producing an additional unit of output. So, to find the marginal cost, we need to calculate the change in total and divide with change in quantity or output. For 0 labor, the marginal cost is 0, and for 1 labor until 5 labor, the marginal cost is RM10. The marginal cost curve shape is initially fall, reach a minimum, and finally rise due to an increase in variable cost. The marginal product curve in the upper panel has a distinctive hump shape with marginal product rising, reaching a peak, then falling, while the marginal cost curve in the lower panel has a distinctive U shape, while marginal cost falling, reaching a minimum, then rising.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Naida Fazana binti Muhammad Zaidi. My number 3 is 2020413894. I will present to you introduction about meaning of diminishing. Diminishing return, also called law of diminishing return or principle or diminishing material. This law explains the behavior of production in short run. This law marginal return state that if the quantity of certain factor are increased while the quantity of one or more factor are held constant beyond certain level of production, the rate of increase in output will decrease and marginal product will decline. The law of diminishing marginal return is a theory in economy that predicts that after some optimal level capacity is reached, adding an additional factor of production will actually result in smaller increase in output. For example, a factory employs workers to manufacture its product, and at some point, the company operates at optimal level. With all other production factor constant, adding additional workers beyond this optimal level will result in less efficient operation. In other words, law diminishing marginal returns state that after a certain point when the additional units of variable input are fixed input, the marginal product of the variable will decline. In this production, there are two types of period, short run and long run. Short run is the period whereby there is a combination at least one fixed input with one or more variable inputs. Example, producer cannot change his line and factor, size or the number of machinery, but he can change the quantity of labor and raw material. Long run is the period whereby there are no fixed input. So, all inputs in this long run are variable input. For example, the firm can buy new factory or purchase new machinery in the long run. New firm can enter the industry and existing firm can leave the industry. There are two types of factor input. The first is fixed input. Fixed input is an input which the quantity does not change according to the output. Why? The variable input is an input is when the quantity changes according to the output.
Next, law of diminishing marginal returns states that after a certain point, when additional unit of variable input are added to a fixed input, the marginal product of the variable input declines. The significance of law of diminishing marginal return is to enable the producer to identify the most economical stage of production, given the fixed and variable factor of production. In example, assume that we have a small stationery factory which has several machines to produce the stationery. In this situation, we use capital as a fixed input. When we hire no labor, we get no output, but when we hire one labor, it can produce 8 units of stationery. If we only have one labor, they have to do everything on their own, which means they can specialize. So our production would be very slow. When we hired 2 labor, the total production increased to 20 units of stationery, and when we hired 3 labor, the total product rises to 33 units. At this pace, the total product costs are increasing at an increasing rate. A rational producer will continue producing goods at this stage, since hiring more labor will increase the total product. But if we keep adding more labors, the problem of overcrowding will arise. Labor has to wait to use the machine. The output keeps increasing, but the marginal product will start to decline. This is where the law of diminishing return is applied. For example, when we hired the 4th labor, the marginal product decreased to 11 units. At this stage, total product increases at diminishing rate, and both average product and marginal product are declining but positive. This is the most efficient stage of production because the fixed and variable inputs are fully utilized so that there is no wastage of resources and unemployment problems. A rational producer will produce at this stage since the total product has reached the maximum point, but if the producer still continue to produce stationery after this stage, the total product will start to decline. If we add more labors, the total product will stop increasing and starts to decline. At this stage, total product starts to fall and marginal product will be negative. In example, when we hired the 9 labor, the total product decreased to 54 and marginal product become negative. The factory will also be overcrowded and some laborers might not do their jobs but still receive wages. A rational producer will not produce at this stage because by increasing more labors, the total product will fall.
Okay, for the conclusion of diminishing return is the reduction point of the return, which is the point of change of the return function, or the maximum point of the underlying marginal return function. Therefore, it can be identified by taking a second return function decrease. Moreover, yearly economists that ignore the possibility of scientific and technical advance that will improve production method apply the law of return reduction by predicting that as the world population increase, output will decline to a level where the level of suffering did not increase. Therefore, in the field of progressing economy, technical advance have success in overcoming these factors and improving living standard even as the population increase. Fortunately, this economy do not predict technological development that will increase agricultural output. However, they are right about the law of reduced return. The law of reduced return depend on the concept of optimal yield. This is the idea that at some point all the productive element of the system function at the peak efficiency level. You no longer get efficiency from the system because everything and everyone works at 100%.